Video tutorials by Andrew Buckle. In this tutorial I'm just going to show you how you can create a halftone effect with an image, or obviously a photograph, etc. Now I'm using black and white image here. Of course you could use a colour, but I wanted black and white. So first thing to do, I'm just going to go to a layer and duplicate layer, because I want to keep the original source image. And then I'm just going to go to layer, making certain I've actually got that selected. Go to a layer and smart objects, convert to smart object. And the reason for that is that I can change the effect later. So I go to filter and pixelate, color halftone, and I'm going to set all those, and I have set them to 20, 20, 20, 20. Now you could set that to something else, but keeping them all the same. That's the key thing here. And I'm going to go for a radius of 10. Now there's no preview, so can't see it until I've actually clicked OK. Now there's the effect. With a smart object, you can just go back and say, well, actually, I don't want that setting. I'll just change it. So maybe make that 30. You can't see the image so well, but I'm just going to go for 30, click OK. So there you have that. Now, what you can do, and I'm just going to duplicate that. So a layer and duplicate that, click OK. So I've now got two, and they both got the colour halftone. What you can do is obviously you can change one. So I'm just going to change that one, and instead of 30, I'm just going to go for 10. Click OK, and you've got that. Now, you can't actually see it at the moment, but of course you can use blending mode. So you can actually combine them. So you can just create some really quite interesting combinations of these halftones. Just some work better than others, so you might find that some actually have very little effect whatsoever. Screen, just obviously very subtle changes. There's not going to be any change in fact. Overlay, and so on and so on. So maybe just darken. Now, once you've decided that, of course you can duplicate and create another layer, create another halftone, and so on and so on and so on. Also, what you can do, you can modify the actual source image, which is combined. So at this point, I'm just going to go down there to make certain that's, say, like darken as well. So you can see now the underlying image. Of course, you could keep it the same, don't have to change it, but you can apply any number of effects. Maybe stylize, my favourite, oil paint, or blur, Gaussian blur, and you can then create a slightly. Now, I've actually applied it to that one, which just the same. You can see you get a nice blurry effect there. Undo that. But you can also go to you have to make certain you actually select the right layer when you apply the filter. So background and then blur, Gaussian blur, and you can see probably a subtle change. But you don't have to keep that, of course. You can combine it also with things such as gradients, maybe add paintbrush, etc. So what you can do, just go there, select I'm just going to use black and white there as well, and I'm using the blending mode of difference. So and I'm going to use linear, so just drag that up there, and you can see again you can create some different colour effects just by creating different changes there. So undo that. Once you're actually happy with the image and the effect, you might decide I don't want that, but that I might put it down to 150% and so on and so on. You can change those. You can then flatten the image. And of course you can apply other effects, maybe you want to add a colour effect to it, but you can also use HDR toning, so that adds additional sort of colour effects that can be black and white effects in this case. So you can see you can tweak it slightly, change the strength, and so on and so on. So you can tweak it to, of course, what you can do then, combine it with other filters such as filter and camera raw filter. So then you can use, I'm just going to quickly go to, say, that one, and just add a quick gradient which you can move around, or maybe move that and go for circular gradient just to create a central point, keep it obviously, or you can go the other way, and so on and so on. If you're making that sort of more blue and rest the image clear. Click OK. And there you have it. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.